Okay, so I just want to say a big hello and welcome, Leslie, for coming on and letting everybody know your experience after coming through my one-on-one mentorship program. So thank you so much for being here. I just wondered if you would perhaps take us back to how you were with, how you dealt with health anxiety prior to meeting me, how it affected your life, and sort of where you were before you came onto my program, if that's okay.
Hiya.
Hello.
Before your program, I was in a really dark place. Health anxiety was controlling every day of my life. Every day I had horrible symptoms from dizziness, breathlessness, panic attacks. And I thought actually that I was doing not too bad because I was continuing to work, I was looking after my children, but in actual fact, I probably wasn't present with the kids when I was playing with them. I
Yeah.
was always focusing on my symptoms and how I felt. So I was at the point I was considering giving up work. I didn't know what to do. I was getting massages, I was going for acupuncture here and there, and nothing was really helping. And I had been on your Facebook community and watching what people were posting, watching what you were posting in the self-help videos. And I seen your program and I was like, will this help? Will 8 weeks be enough? I'm in such a terrible place. But I thought, do you know what? You're throwing money at everything else.
Yeah.
So why not just take this jump and actually do it? And because I liked the material that you put on Facebook, I was like, this might be really, really good.
Yeah.
So I contacted you and started my journey on your program.
Amazing. And we're not talking that long ago, are we? We're literally talking the beginning of this year.
Yep.
So you had a couple of months with me, and if I remember rightly, I think you did really well within the first few weeks. There were massive changes. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just, we got to 8 weeks and we're okay. You managed to do really well within the first sort of 2 or 3 weeks, making some huge changes to your lifestyle and really starting to feel the benefits. So what was the program like? What did you enjoy about the online program, and also having me as your coach, as your guiding light?
I think the online program was really, really good when you access each week's modules. So you watch the videos, you get your tasks and see what you have to do. And I quite like taking notes on your videos. And if I had any questions, I would write them down so as I remembered to discuss them with you when we had our one-to-one. I
Yeah.
think it's really important you have that one-to-one because that was my time to go over things with you that maybe I didn't understand or I was worried I wasn't doing so well.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the first time I ever met you, I was still at the end of the call thinking, I'm not sure about this. I didn't
Yeah.
really know what to say to you on that video. But every week that I came back, I actually began to speak to you and be really honest with you, discussed what was happening in the videos, what was working well, and you could actually help feed in ideas to me because my mind was still very much focusing on the health anxiety, the symptoms. But you gave me ideas and prompted me to look at what I could do within my life. So one of mine was I felt I never had time for anything because I work full time and I've got two young kids. But you were like, well, could you walk the dog on your lunch break? Could you get a walk when you're in the office at work? And I was like, I hadn't thought about that. Just something really simple, how I could find time.
Yeah.
And likewise, looking for activities to do at night. So I started Tai Chi, which I absolutely loved.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I'm a stranger in effect. Yes, you're in my community, you see me on Facebook, but I am a stranger and it's really difficult to open up to
Mm,
somebody. But what I like to do is almost like have a little renter space in your brain. So come on in there and look at it from a different angle. And
mhm,
sometimes we can be so bogged down with health anxiety, but that we really
mm,
can't see the wood for the trees. So by almost sort of popping in there, renting a little spot for a while, it really really helps me just to, just to be able to get to the root cause, which is really important. There is always a root if you dig down far enough, but it's finding that and coming in at different angles. So yeah, I mean, you made fantastic progress. I'm so pleased. And so you enjoyed the program, you enjoyed the weekly slots, you discovered lots of new activities and things that you could do. And during that time, what happened to your anxiety when you were doing these things? How were you feeling as the weeks were going on?
As the weeks were going on, I slowly noticed that my anxiety wasn't as bad. I wasn't suffering every single day. And I felt as well, because I could message you if I did feel like I was starting to get those symptoms, you put it back into perspective for me. So I started to learn that obviously my palpitations were heart hiccups. And I really like that term because it doesn't make it as scary. And one of my kind of safety behaviours was checking myself in the shower. And then you gave me that insight. What can you do differently when you go for a shower? So as you're not doing that. So
Mhm.
then I started to put that into place, and I now no longer do that. And
Mhm.
I'm very aware that I learned how negative I had became during health anxiety because of that dark place it had put me in. So you getting me to reframe all my thoughts has been so beneficial. I feel like I'm such a more positive person now. And then I noticed as the weeks went on with you, I said, I actually feel present with my kids now. I realised that I maybe wasn't present before.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing feeling. My confidence just grew every
Yeah.
week near the end.
Yeah.
And I think as well, there's that bit of an anxiety thinking, oh no, Amy's leaving. That's the program over. But you make it so clear that I can stay on the group, I can reach out to
Absolutely.
you, you'll stay in contact. And I think that really helps as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And you've got my details. So, I like to keep in touch and I really want to know how you're doing in the future. So I always say like you're my clients are like my little fledgling ducks and off you go into the pond and always swim back and check in every
Mm,
now and again. But I'm just so really, really pleased for you, Leslie. Honestly, it makes everything so much worthwhile. It's so
mm-hmm.
worthwhile for me to see your
Yeah.
progress. So how are you finding life now, like post my program? How are you getting on? How is life?
Life is brilliant. I'm so much more happier at work. I can focus on my job better because I'm not constantly thinking how ill I am. As I say, I'm present with my kids. We're bouncing out and doing activities again and having a great time. I'm so much more positive. And I actually, when I was finishing the program with you, I said I'm still in a bit of disbelief almost. I didn't think this could happen in 8 weeks. And some days I still pinch myself and think, wow, this is just amazing. This is so different. But as I say, I've got my notes that I've taken from all the videos to remind myself. And I'm very aware now of my thoughts and my negative behaviours. And if I get a symptom, I don't go into panic mode now. I can think about it clearly and make sure I'm practicing my steps that we built in through the program. So I continuously do my Tai Chi because it's been so beneficial in my mental health and physical health. I
Amazing.
still walk the dog on my lunch breaks. I park further away from work if I don't need the car. I've got my little pillow spray to put on my pillow at night that's lavender and chamomile. I'm painting my nails again as well because I'm feeling better about myself. And all these things feed into my routine that's now keeping me well. And that's all thanks to
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely, thank you. And it is all those little changes. We might think that
Hmm.
something like painting your nails is really insignificant, but all of these little things, like looking after yourself, that self-care, that self-love, really does paint that bigger picture. So
Hmm.
I'm so massively pleased. And you did really well with work as well. There was all the good work stuff that was coming through, wasn't there, as you were coming through my
Hmm.
program, and you're making huge, huge progress. So I'm so pleased. And what would you say to anybody who, is sitting on the fence a bit, not quite sure, often I find that people come to me as like a last resort, really. They have
Hmm.
tried anything and they're literally clutching at straws. But what would you say to anyone that's watching this that is sort of in two minds as to, to spend that money? Obviously, spending any money in this sort of current economic climate is difficult.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would say don't think negative about it, that you can't put a price on your health. I was sitting on the fence. I wasn't sure what to do, and I just jumped feet first in and came to you. But I think as well, have an open mind and be prepared to work on yourself. I think because I was clutching at straws, I was very much like, my life can't go on like this. I felt like I was going insane. I came to you and I was willing to do the exercises. I was willing to work on myself, put in my breathing techniques. So dedicate time where you can give this program the time it needs. And I love how flexible you were. You're like, I'm not putting pressure on you. If you genuinely have a bad week and you can't do the exercise, don't. But I accepted accountability as well. And I thought, no, I'm going to do this because I want to get better. So
Yeah.
I would just say to anybody, make time, do the program, and you will reap the rewards if you put in the hard work.
Absolutely, and that's such a great thing. You really grabbed it by the horns, and
Hmm.
I can coach you, I can guide you, I can shine that
Hmm.
light, but I can't do the work for you.
No.
So you really took everything, and you gave it your all, and hats off to you. You are a shining example of how to come through it. So congratulations, Leslie. Honestly, I'm so pleased, and I gained friends through doing this. I honestly, you're
Mm.
on my Christmas card list. I generally,
Yeah.
and I've really enjoyed working with you, and the relationship that we've made. So
Hmm.
thank you so much, and all the best. And I really, wish you all the success in your life going forwards.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay, take care now. Okay, bye.